Hi everyone, and welcome to my top 10, oh my gosh, my hand can almost do it, books of 2013. And this is where I will talk a little bit about those books that I love this year. So hopefully you will like these books too, but if not, at least I enjoyed them. I am only going to tell you some good stuff about each of them because I don't feel like talking about the bad stuff because, these are my top 10, on top of which I talked about all of these books either in reviews or in wrap-ups. So if you want to see some negative stuff about them, go check out those. I will try to make this as quick as possible so that it doesn't take forever. I only have 10 and not 13 of 2013 because really I kind of picked 9 and then I found another one, so I came up with 10, but 13 would have been a struggle. So these are in order. I'm one of those people that likes the least book the least and the most book the most, and I'm not going to be vague about it. So number 10 is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. This book was quite good. It is number 10 because there are some faults to it. Some parts are a little slower and there is a lot of details in it, but it is part of a series. I think it might even be like 8 books. And I'm really looking forward to the rest of the series. I think it can definitely grow from there, especially because this author is a new author and I believe this is her first book. So also cover fantastic. Basically, big thumbs up for this book. Number 9 is Angel Fall by Susan E. This book was big on BookTube, so I'm sure you have all heard about it. But if you haven't, it has angels in it, which is epic. It's also got a little bit of originality to it that you don't quite see in a lot of YA. Plenty of suspense and action and great characters, so it's a good one. Then at number 8 we have The Last Olympian by Rick Riordan. I chose this one out of the whole series because either this one or The Last Labyrinth are my favorite out of the whole series, and I love this series in general, so basically you'll grow to love, if you don't already, Greek mythology, children/young YA books, epic adventures, and it's from the perspective of a male rather than a female. At number 7, we have Magic Bites by Leona Andrews. This was a recent read for me, I think last month, maybe, yes, I think so. It is an adult book. It does have adult content in it, mainly because it's just graphic and kind of a violent / body sense. Dead bodies in descriptive terms are not meant for young children or young teens. But it has such good writing. The characters are fantastic. Each moment hooks you in, and I cannot wait to read the next book. Somehow I haven't got my hands on it yet, but it will be soon. Then I have another well-known BookTube book, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. We all know this book. I picked the first book and not the second book because I enjoyed the first book better. I think mainly because I like being introduced into new characters and new worlds, and this one did an excellent job of it. Plus, in the second book, there is a bit more of unhappiness and darkness, which is good too, but in this one, you get an assassin, you get cool fighting, you get great characters, and I don't know, it's just an amazing combination that I loved reading about, and I can't recommend enough. At number 5, we have Omens by Kelly Armstrong. I read this book a little while ago and I really enjoyed it. It's more of a quiet book in the sense that there is action, but not so much more. There is intrigue, a hint of magic, and a lot of mysteriousness. The writing is so well done. I love this author. Her writing is fantastic. So far, even though this is an adult book, it is appropriate for those of you who are younger. And I'm waiting to see what she does with the second book. At number 4, we have The Coldest Girl in Hold Down by Holly Black. I really like this cover. This book is about vampires, but for a YA book, it is a very original take on vampires. The main character is great. She is not your typical YA girl main character. I also love the vampire character, shall we say. He is great, and I like the world a lot. it just did a great job of ensnaring your attention and making you want to read more, and I'm really sad that this is the only book. It has no sequel. At number 3, we have A Local Habitation by Shauna McGuire. This is part of the October Daye series. This is the second or third book. I've kind of lost track, but I think so far this is my favorite. I just really love this series. It is an adult series, but it does not have a lot of inappropriate content, so if you're an older teen, I think it should be fine. Characters are just so good. There's so much action. It just continues on nonstop. People are dying, but it's still okay. And there's magic and fae and the dark sense, and I just want to read more and more and more. So this author is fantastic. This book is fantastic, and please check out the series. We're getting down to the end. Number 2, The Testing by Joelle Charbonneau. Now I know some of you didn't like this, but please go check out this book. It is so good. It is Hunger Games-esque, but still it stands on its own right. The plot is different enough. I enjoyed it just as much as the Hunger Games. I felt drawn into what was going on, the characters, their decisions, and I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, and I am going to order the next book, which I believe already came out this month, or if not, it's coming out very soon, and I'm going to read it very, very soon because it is so good, and this is a YA book. And finally, for our number 1 spot, I have Written and Read by Anne Bishop. This book, oh my gosh, as I said before, I could read a million books like this. I just... like every second I was like, I hope this book keeps going. I just want it to keep going more and more and more. How she writes is amazing. The characters are just built, they're flawed, and they have problems, and bad things are happening, or they're violent, and at the same time you just love them and you want to read more about them and you care about them, and the world that's built is so different from our own and yet so much the same at the same time. I can't recommend it enough, and it is pretty appropriate. It's an adult book, but I say if you're an older teen, should be fine. And I am just waiting for the next book. I think it's going to be like another 3 or 4 months before it comes out, but when it does, pre-order, gonna read immediately, and it's gonna be amazing. So yes, if you haven't read this, so those were my top 10 of 2013. I have to say it was a good year. It's also the year I started booktubing, so you know, good things. And I cannot wait to find out what next year holds, or I guess, should I say, this year holds for books. Already I've started reading some good books, and I have a feeling it's only going to go uphill from here. So I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I'm sure I will see you guys tomorrow for Friday Night Reads, but anyways, talk to you later. Bye guys!